Brooke Evans, a driven, slightly cynical corporate lawyer from Chicago. She lives by schedules and plans, her life neatly organized in spreadsheets. She's heading to a lakeside cabin for a solitary, working vacation to escape a high-pressure case and a recent, messy breakup. Dakota Shaw, a free-spirited, charismatic woodwork artist and canoe guide who lives in the small town of Cedar Point, Michigan. She is deeply connected to nature, lives in the moment, and is the unofficial caretaker of the lake and the cabins surrounding it. The story opens with Brooke driving from the hustle of Chicago to the serene, pine-filled air of northern Michigan. Her city car struggles on the gravel roads leading to Whispering Pines, the cabin her firm's senior partner lent her. She's frustrated by the lack of cell service and the sheer quietness, which feels oppressive rather than peaceful. Her first interaction with Dakota is abrupt. Brooke, trying to get the generator working after a brief storm knocks out power, accidentally triggers a leak. Flustered and covered in a bit of grease, she calls the emergency number provided. Dakota arrives not in a truck but paddling up in a kayak, wearing a worn flannel shirt and a confident, easy smile that immediately gets under Brooke's skin. Dakota fixes the issue with an effortless competence that annoys Brooke. She's everything Brooke isn't, relaxed, unscripted, and completely at home in this environment. Dakota gives Brooke a quick, unsolicited tour of the cabin's quirks. The Lakehouse Rules, she calls them, like not leaving food out because of raccoons, and the best time of day to see the sunset from the dock. Brooke finds her presumptuous and a little infuriating, but also intriguing. She notices the way Dakota's hands, strong and capable, move as she works, and the genuine warmth in her hazel eyes. Over the next few days, Brooke tries to work but finds herself distracted. Her calls keep dropping, forcing her to drive into town to the only cafe with reliable Wi-Fi. She runs into Dakota there, surrounded by locals who clearly adore her. Brooke overhears snippets of conversation, Dakota organizing a community cleanup of the lake shoreline. Their paths continue to cross. Brooke, attempting to go for a run, gets hopelessly lost on a forest trail. Dakota finds her, not with judgment, but with gentle amusement, guiding her back. During a canoeing attempt that ends with Brooke soaked and the canoe nearly capsized, Dakota appears on her motorboat, towing her back to safety. These encounters are filled with witty banter and a growing, undeniable chemistry. Brooke learns that Dakota turned down a scholarship to a big university to take over her grandfather's woodworking business after he fell ill. She sees the depth behind Dakota's carefree exterior, a fierce loyalty and love for her home. Dakota, in turn, sees the vulnerability beneath Brooke's polished armor, the exhaustion, the pressure, the fear of not being perfect. One evening, Dakota invites Brooke to a bonfire on the public beach. Reluctantly, Brooke goes. Sitting under a blanket of stars, listening to the laughter and guitar music, Brooke feels a sense of belonging she hasn't felt in years. She and Dakota share a moment alone by the water's edge, the tension between them palpable. The chapter ends with their hands almost touching. Their relationship shifts from antagonistic to deeply affectionate. Brooke starts taking breaks from work to spend time with Dakota. Dakota teaches her how to properly paddle a kayak, identify constellations, and skip stones. Brooke, in return, shares stories of her life in the city, her ambitions, and the heartbreak that led her here. They share their first kiss during a sudden summer rain shower, laughing as they get drenched, the world reduced to the sound of rain on the lake and the feel of each other's lips. It's passionate and tender, a release of all the built-up tension. For a few days, it's idyllic. Brooke's carefully structured world dissolves into the spontaneity of being with Dakota. They spend nights wrapped together in Brooke's cabin or on a blanket in the back of Dakota's pickup truck, watching for shooting stars. Brooke feels truly happy and free for the first time in her adult life. Dakota starts to believe that maybe someone from the outside world could understand and love her life, and her reality intrudes in the form of a demanding video call from Brooke's law firm in Chicago. The big case is heating up, and they need her back. The pressure is on. The call reminds Brooke of the life waiting for her, a promotion, a corner office, the city buzz. She and Dakota have their first real argument. Brooke, stressed and defensive, suggests that Dakota's life is a vacation and not a real career. Dakota, deeply hurt, accuses Brooke of looking down on her and her community, of seeing their connection as a lake fling. She tells Brooke that if she can't see what's real right in front of her, then she's the one who's blind. They part in anger. Brooke packs her bags, her heart breaking. She drives away from Cedar Point feeling like she's ruined the best thing that ever happened to her. Back in Chicago, the city feels louder, dirtier, and emptier than before. The promotion feels hollow. She misses the smell of pine and the sound of the lake. Most of all, she misses Dakota. Weeks pass. Brooke is miserable, successful, and utterly alone. She realizes her life plan was someone else's idea of success. During a meeting, she looks out her high-rise window and doesn't see the achievement. She sees a cage. She thinks of Dakota's hands, shaping beautiful, solid things from raw wood, building a life of meaning and connection. She makes a decision. She turns down the promotion and negotiates a remote working arrangement, agreeing to come into the Chicago office only 1 week per month. It's a risk, but it feels right. She drives back to Cedar Point, her heart in her throat. She finds Dakota in her workshop, sanding a piece of cherry wood. The air is thick with sawdust and unspoken words. "I was wrong," Brooke says, her voice quiet but firm. "Your life isn't a vacation. It's a masterpiece. And my life in the city, it was just a draft. I don't want to fling, Dakota. I want you. I want this. If you'll still have me?" Dakota puts down her sander, her eyes glistening. She doesn't say anything at first, just walks over to Brooke and cups her face, her thumb stroking Brooke's cheek. "Took you long enough," she whispers, before kissing her with a passion that feels like coming home. The story ends in the fall. Brooke is working from the cabin, which she has rented for the season. Her laptop is open on the porch table, but her gaze is on the fiery red and orange leaves reflecting on the lake. Dakota comes out, handing her a mug of hot coffee and kissing the top of her head. They talk about their future, maybe buying the cabin, definitely spending winters in the city for Brooke's work, but always coming back to the lake. They've written their own set of rules, a blend of both their worlds. As they sit together on the dock, hand in hand, watching the sunset, Brooke knows she has finally found the life she was always meant to live, right here with the woman who taught her how to love it.